Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday to show you a fun new project. I am just going to chit chat for a minute until some of our friends log on. Sorry, I had to get a screen out of the way so I could see comments on my computer. So good evening, everybody. So it literally has been so chilly. I am not complaining. I wish we could have some of this weather when it's 200 degrees outside. But yesterday I walked out in a pair of leggings and a tank top and literally turned right back in the house and went and put some more clothes on because it was cold. And then this morning I actually dressed for the occasion. I put a sweater on, but I had a blanket on all morning in my studio. It was freezing. I didn't have the heart to turn the heat on or bring my little space heater down, but it's actually kind of nice today, or right now anyway. So hello, everybody. Hello, Darlene. Hello, Anna and Heather. Good evening. So I have a super fun card for you guys tonight. Sorry, my leg, I think it's just going to rain because my leg keeps hurting, and I was just trying to situate because it started hurting again. Sorry about that. So today's spinner card, it is so easy. Literally, I did not think this card could be any easier, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. I'm just going to make sure we are live, make sure my volume is down because I was watching Netflix today while I was working in the studio. I just think it's so, it's the best therapy just to get out in your craft room and work on stuff. I made lots of boxes and bags today, and I literally could just sit there all day. Well, I did. I sat there all day long and made boxes and bags. It was amazing. It was the best therapy anybody could ask for. Hello, Karen and Monique. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so let me flip you over and I'll just show you some products that we're going to be using. So many of you guys have already gotten the catalog and have been able to glance through it. We're not allowed to show the catalog live yet until it officially goes live. We can't show the actual catalog, but we can show products that we are going to be playing with. So this is hold on, let me get the correct name because I don't know everything yet. It's the Ombre Specialty Designer Series paper. So you get 4 sheets, you get one in each color, and it is 12 by 12, and you get one in Gorgeous Grape, you get one in Mango Melody, Night and Navy, and Poppy Parade. So those are the 4 colors that come in our amazing shimmer paper. I literally don't think the video does it justice. But this is definitely my cup of tea. I love anything sparkly and glittery and fun. Love this paper. So we are actually going to be using the Poppy Parade paper on the card we're going to be doing. Yes, Darlene, it is purple. That is totally you. Love, love, love this paper. So let me get this out of the way. And another pack of paper we're going to be using, it is called Pattern Party Designer Series paper pack. So I have actually used quite a bit of this paper pack already. The one amazing thing about this is you get 4 of each sheet. So you get 4, and it's Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple, Misty Moonlight, Pale Papaya, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, and it says Whisper White, but I actually think that is supposed to be Basic White. So those are the colors that are in here, and just wait until I show you the other side. But we're just going to do the pattern side first. Let me kind of squeeze you in just a hair. Well, maybe. Okay, it's not going to let me squeeze you in a hair. Oh, there it goes. Okay, hold on. There we go. So these are the pattern pieces. We're actually going to be playing with this striped one today, but you get beautiful flowers and just abstract designs, and this one is so beautiful also. Love, love, love this entire paper pack. Look at the hearts. So you get 4 of each sheet, and then the opposite side, hold that thought, let me flip it over. It is all black and white. Look at the check the buffalo check. Oh, these are so stinking fun. You could literally color these leaves in if you wanted to. You could color any of it in. And the stripes and the polka dots and these flowers, you could definitely color those flowers in the blenders. So yeah, it is a super fun set. Now the only way to get this set is to have a party or to be your own party. So you get this for some of your host credit. That's what you would get with your host credit is this pack of paper. And starting March 4th, you get an extra $25 in host credits if you have a party or if you want to be your own host. So that you'll see more information coming out on that. It doesn't go in effect until May 4th. Okay, so let me bring in the card for today. I actually had to put it in an envelope for it to kind of do its thing. So as you can see, I went ahead and decorated the envelope. And let me pull this out. You guys ready for the fun card? So there we go. Watch what it does. Ready? Is that not stinking cool? You're going to wind this back up and you're going to close the card and open it again and it spins. So I actually made 2 of them today because I couldn't control myself. And I made this one for my son-in-law's birthday. I asked my daughter what his favorite colors were. And she said lime green and black. Well, I kind of did the lime green, but I didn't do the black because it didn't match this pretty paper. So when you open it, it spins. Thank you for all the hearts. I love it when you guys give me hearts. So when you go to put this in your envelope, you want to spin the ice cream cone as tight as humanly possible. You're going to slide it in your card or your envelope. You're going to, when they pull it out and they open it, it is going to spin. And let me tell you, it was so easy to do. Okay, so let me go over all of the supplies that you'll need. So the first thing you are going to want is your cardstock. This is Mango Melody, and I have cut it at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it twice. I scored it in half at 4.25, and then one more time at 2 1/8. You're going to need, I'm going to do this one a tiny bit different. So this is 4 by 5.25, and we're going to actually put this on the inside instead of the basic whites. And then you are going to need a sheet. You do want to use 12 by 12 when you're doing this. So when it's all put together, this is 12 by 1 7/8. I know I hate doing the 1 7/8 little marks, but this card really did have to have that. So when you cut it at 1 7/8, you're going to cut it at 5.25. So you're going to have 2 at 5.25. And you are going to want to keep this little tiny leftover piece because there's something we're going to do with that. So those are all you need to make this fun card. So let's get crafting. So I went ahead and scored everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold and varnish on all of the score lines. There we go. And then we are going to open up our card and we're going to take these 2 strips. And I would suggest using your, not snail, stamp and seal on this card, just because we are going to run it through the embossing machine. And if you use the green glue, it just sometimes is a little bit too thick and you don't want to you don't want to goop up your die. That was really hard to say. So I'm literally just putting a tiny bit of our adhesive on here. And if you're struggling using our new adhesive, I do recommend putting it underneath the silicone mat. And you really want to just have a super light touch. You don't want to white knuckle it. Literally, I'm just setting it down and just kind of pulling it off a little bit. You might have to get it going a tad, but literally the softer you go, the better result you're going to have. So let's get this out of the way, and we are going to put one in between this section, and we're going to put one in between this section. And then I should have put adhesive on this guy as well. We're going to go ahead and adhere this one down as well. Just put a little adhesive on the edges. And then this one is going to go right there. Okay, so pretty simple so far, correct? So this is our mechanism so far. So I went ahead and took out the layering circle dies, and I'm not really sure which one this is, but a good way to tell is just to make sure that your piece that's going to spin will fit in between the circle. That's kind of how I figured out which one I needed. So I went ahead and cut 2 of them. We are going to use one for the card, so I'm going to set that aside. But this guy is actually going to be our guide. So we are going to fold this in half. We're going to fold it in half, give it a good crease. Use your bone folder. Now we're going to open it up and put some adhesive on the inside. So I am going to use this as my guide to make sure I get my circle centered, not only centered in between the front of it, but centered as in it's not going to be cattywampus on your card. So we're just going to squeeze that, and now you have your guide. So literally, we're going to cut that out of our embossing machine. Okay, let me pull the embossing machine over. Let me scoot you back for that, just so you don't get too dizzy with the embossing machine being right up in your nose. There we go. Let me grab my plates. So this is our base, and it looks like I didn't bring over, oh, here it is. I didn't make sure it had the extra piece to it. So there's our base. And then we're going to have our piece that goes on the bottom. This one is pretty hammered. When you're using it on the bottom plate, it definitely can be hammered. If you're using this one as the top, it could leave indentions on your card that might be annoying to you. So just make sure if it's pretty hammered, use it on the bottom. So I am going to just line this up, and you can grab a piece of washi tape and put a piece of washi tape on here to hold it. But I literally, I've done this 3 times and it didn't shift or move on me. And then you're going to put your top plate on and sandwich it down. And now we're going to run it through. There we go. Just kind of got to give it a little bit of a head start there. And I'm going to run it back through one more time just because you're going through 3 pieces of cardstock. So let me get this out of the way. Let me set it down so it doesn't fall. Get these out of the way. And now we can pop this out. Look, there is our card. And this piece, you could try to pull this off and reuse it if you wanted to, but it's sticky. I would just pitch it. You don't even really need it. So now here is our perfect opening. You do want to probably crease these guys a couple extra times while you're doing this. So now let's play with our circle that's going to go on the inside. So I grabbed a small sentiment. My original one, let me bring in my original one. I did put the happy birthday on it. And this one, I did the little doodads across the side of it. But I wanted to do the designer series paper. Oh, let me scooch in. I wanted to do the designer series paper on the inside, so that's why we need a piece of white so we can write on it. Hopefully that makes sense. And I forgot to mention what stamp set we're using. I'm pretty sure you figured it out with the card, but we're using the Sweet Ice Cream and the Punch. Right now, you still save 10% until the catalog ends, and then this is going to be separated. So I did put a link in the description if you wanted to order this while it's still 10%. So I'm going to put You're Cool right in the center. And then I'm going to grab the little doodads, the little dots, and I just want to put a couple dots around here. And if you want a bigger area to write, you can always put a piece of basic white on the back of here so you can write your sentiment on the back as well. Okay, so let's close. Actually, we're going to use that again. So I'm going to flip this over, and I want to grab my silicone mat just so I make sure I don't have any issues with my adhesive. And this one you really could use the green glue if you wanted to. So now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to set this right inside. Just make sure it's even. There we go. So now you know your card is in where it's supposed to be. Okay, so let's set this aside, and we are going to start working on building our ice cream cone. So I do have, actually I don't think we need the Poppy Parade anymore. So I have the cinnamon cider and early espresso. So I'm going to grab the cinnamon cider and I'm going to stamp the little triangle, the bottom of the ice cream cone. I'm going to stamp right here, ink it up again, stamp again, because you actually need 2 of everything you're doing at this point because we are going to back it. Now I'm going to open up the early espresso, and I'm going to do the inside of the ice cream cone. Perfect. And I really think that's all the stamping we're going to be doing. Everything else is going to be using the punch. So we're going to slide this in. Hopefully I cut enough off. Oh, it went over a hair. That's okay. We should be able to cover that up. Trim this off. Slide this in again. Perfect. Okay, so there's our 2 bases for our ice cream cone. Now I'm going to bring in the beautiful shimmer paper, and I want to punch out 2 in the darker. So I'm just going to bring my paper in, punch out 1. I knew that was going to happen. You know what? Instead of doing that, I'm going to bring in my trimmer and just trim off the edge. I do not want to waste any of this paper. I know it's just paper, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be my favorite new paper. So I want to conserve as much as possible. Okay, so I got that. So I am going to trim this off just so I can get it back into my punch. So we're going to do 1 more. And then we're going to come up here and do 2 in the lighter, in the ombre. Cut that off. There we go. That is all we need. Now we can start assembling our cute little card. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to start assembling just the front side. So I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow. Well, maybe, there it goes. We're going to put a little bit of Tombow. And let's do the lighter one first. And then do remember that nothing sticks to glimmer paper but glue dots. So this guy, we are going to put some mini glue dots on the back. I found this out the hard way years and years ago. I was probably getting ready for a retreat or a class or something, and I glued everything together using our glimmer paper, and the next day everything was all apart. I was so sad. So I'm letting you guys know ahead of time, nothing sticks to glimmer paper but mini glue dots. Okay, that has got to be the cutest thing. Look how fun that ice cream cone is with the glimmer paper. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now we're going to flip it over and grab some tear tape. This one is a little bit of a few steps, but it is so worth it in the long run. So I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape along the back side of it, And I'm going to peel this off. Thank you, everybody. I'm so happy you like it. And then I'm going to bring in some of our twine. So literally, I just cut. I don't even know how much I cut. Having more is better than not having enough. So literally, just cut a strip off, and you're going to lay it right in the middle on top of your tear tape. So now we're going to add lots of green glue. You do not want this puppy coming undone. So I am literally probably adding way too much. I'm not adding enough where it's going to squeeze out the edges, but I did add quite a bit. I don't know if you can see how much I added, and we're going to actually add more in a little bit. So we're going to start with the base, and we're going to put this right on top. And another reason why I used green glue is it gives you a chance to wiggle it around, to move it, to make sure you have it exactly where you want it. And that piece that I didn't cut off perfectly, you can't even tell. It's hidden under there. So there's that. And don't want to get that in there. So we're going to just layer it the same way as we did the front. So I'm going to put the lighter ombre right there. And now this guy, I am going to put some more mini glue dots on. I know you probably are like, Sarah, you've told us that a million times that nothing sticks to glimmer paper but mini glue dots. But if you're new and if you've never heard me say that, I literally have just saved you a lot of heartache and probably some tears. So let's do a couple more on here. And yeah, I am definitely going overkill on the mini glue dots. But this card is way too cute for it to fall apart. So this one is going to go right on top. And before you push the whole thing down, you can kind of just pick it up and just make sure everything's lined up before you squeeze. So there we go. There is your double-sided ice cream cone. Now, here is where the magic is. Remember that little strip that I told you to save? This is the bottom edge. You want to bring in your little trimmer, and we're going to cut this in half. It literally does not have to be perfectly in half. No one's going to really see it. So I don't even think I did that perfectly in half, but it's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and add some tear tape to the back side. And yes, I know it's overkill putting two big old strips of tear tape, but once you see where they go, you'll totally understand why. So there's that. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just peel this off because we're going to be using it in the next step. Set that down. Peel this one off. There we go. And are you glad we're actually only doing one card today because I kind of thought it was going to be a moment. Okay, so here is our beautiful card. Now we just have to put the little spinner on it. So we're going to flip this over, and I want to put another strip of tearing tape right inside the crease. Can you guys, are you starting to follow along what we're going to be doing next? When I saw this card, I was like, oh my goodness, that is brilliant. These people are so smart. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this up just to make sure the top of the ice cream and the bottom of the cone are in the circle. And we're going to make sure that this is right in the crease. And you don't want to pull it super tight, but you want it pretty snug in there. There we go. And then these guys are going to go just over it. And you literally didn't even know when I showed you the original card that when you flip it over, that's how I secured it down. You could definitely use the same color cardstock as well, but I actually thought it looked really cute having that extra little strip on the back. And you really don't even notice it. So we're going to set this one down. And then we're going to flip this open. Make sure you're using not your really good scissors. Once you cut tape with it, it starts to dull your scissors. So make sure you are using, I call them crappy scissors. I don't know the technical term, or adhesive scissors. We should have a little tag that says adhesive scissors on there. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze this back in because we put a lot of tear and tape on the back side. You do want to refold it and make sure all your edges are lined up and recrease that really well. And look, your ice cream covers up your sentiments, and you could just see a few of the little sparkles on the side of your card. So let's wind her up. Oh, that looks pretty good. We're going to pretend it's in an envelope, and then we're going to open it. Is that not so fun? And I actually really do like having the designer series paper on this side as well. You could have really flipped it over and showcased the black and white on the other side, but I just thought it was so fun and so bright and so cheery. Could you imagine somebody getting this in the mail, the reaction on their face when they open it up? And it was so easy to do. I mean, yes, it did take us the whole 30 minutes of our Facebook Live, but it really wasn't tragic. When I made this was my first one I made. This one's for my son-in-law. His birthday is next month. When I first made this one, I was like, oh, holy crap, that was really easy. And this one I stamped the ice cream cones, and same with this one, I stamped the ice cream cones. But then I saw that we had the shimmer paper, and I was like, oh, that is brilliant. We are definitely using that. Okay, and don't forget, we do not want naked envelopes. And I think I put my paper away already. I did bring my envelopes over to do the backs of them, but I think I put my paper away. But don't forget to use up some of your designer series paper and decorate your envelopes as well. Okay, that was a lot of information in 30 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I loved making this card. I might be doing a class on it because it was that fun, that easy, and that much of a wow project. I really enjoyed making that. So hopefully you guys get out there and try it for yourselves, just so you can see how easy it is. And like I said in the beginning, I've been out in my studio for the last 2 days, and it has just been the best therapy I needed. It was just so nice and relaxing, and the weather was cool. I had a blanket over my lap, and I watched Netflix for the last 2 days while I was working. But anyway, that is what I have been doing. Hopefully you guys are out there crafting. If not, get in your craft room. It is so much fun. Okay, I will be back on Thursday at 7 for another Facebook Live. I actually have to go in and go straight to bed. I have to be at work at 5 a.m. Crazy, right? I know I usually don't see the light of day till about 9, and I have to be at work at 5. So everybody say a prayer for me, please. We'll see if I make it on time. Just kidding. Okay, we'll talk to you guys on Thursday. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see everybody on Thursday. And don't forget card classes on Saturday. If you are free, feel free to send me a message, and I'll get you down for card class. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.